Hey guys, welcome to another video by VillageGuy with a computer. So we just learned about variables in JavaScript and how we can use variables to hold data and pass data around in our program. What I want us to do in this video is look at something called data types. And for now, just think of data types as a variable with certain properties or certain characteristics. So you know when you look at a dog, the reason why you know that this is a dog is because it has certain characteristics. It walks on four legs, it has a tail, it has fur, it barks, and so on and so on. There's like all these properties that tell you this is a dog, and depending on those properties you can make decisions, like is it friendly, or do you want to adopt it, or do you want to pet it, or do you like it? In programming, variables also have different characteristics depending on which type of data they are holding, and depending on what data type a variable is, the computer will make different decisions. This will make more sense once I start showing it, but for now just know that there are mainly three types of data types that you need to worry about in JavaScript. I mean, there are a lot more different data types in JavaScript, but for now I want us to focus on three main types. So let's say we work at a company and this company makes shoes, but for some reason when the orders come in, they are very small and we need to scale up these sizes. So we can have something like let shoe size equal 5. Now, as you can see here, so this is a number. So this variable will have a data type of number, or it will have a type of number, and we can do different operations on this number. So for example, we can have a scaling factor. Let scaling factor equal 2, and we can say something like console.log. Did I say show size? I meant to say shoe size. Scaling factor. So let me just quickly correct this. Show size. Okay, so we get our shoe size and we have a scaling factor, and you can multiply them to get the shoe size that we need to send to the customer. And if we run this node test, we get 10. So numbers are anything that the computer can perform arithmetic on. Now, what we can also have is negative numbers. For example, we could have -5 and the computer could still perform the same arithmetic, but just with a negative number. We could also have decimal numbers, which in computer science or in programming they are called floats. If we run this again, no test, we get 10 point something something. So these are numbers. These data types are called numbers. So another data type that you'll deal with a lot is something called a string, and you've probably seen strings already. So let's say we want to keep some information on a person. So we have a person and we want to keep some information on that person. So maybe we need a name. So let name equal, or let's say the person's name is Toi. Now a string is a list of characters. It can be anything. It could be letters, could be numbers like this, it could be just an open space, could be these type of characters. A string will hold literally anything that you can type in. So for now we want to have Toi, and then again let's say maybe we want to know what their job. And let's say Toi is a designer. And now what we could do is log this out. We could log something like console.log, and then we could say name plus, and then we could add something to it like and then plus, and then job. Actually, let me change this to just say person name. So if we clear this and when we say node test.js, it says Toi is a designer. Man, I wish I could get this right in the first try. Toi is a designer. So these are strings, and in strings we could hold anything. We could even say, for example, Toi is a 24. I don't know what that means, but and it would still say 24, but this is not a number, this is a string. So there's different things that we cannot do with this. For example, we cannot add two strings. So if, for example, if we come here and we say let string 1 equal 1 and let string 2 equal 2, if we console.log string 1 plus string 2, it will not give us the output that we're expecting, because these are not numbers, these are strings, and JavaScript will treat strings differently from the way that it treats numbers. So if we say string 1 plus string 2, instead of getting 3, we'll get 12, because when JavaScript is adding strings, it just puts them together. For example, here we have we, right? And we try and do that, it will say we2, because there's no way to add characters to numbers. It just doesn't work like that. So there are two ways to define strings or to make strings. So you can either use double quotes or you could use single quotes, like here. Whoa. Single quotes like this. This is also a string and this is also a string. Now, why do we have two ways to declare strings? This is because sometimes you want to say like let string 3, and we want to write like float like a butterfly sting like a bee. So we want to write this quote and we want to say this was said by Muhammad Ali. But as you can see, JavaScript is now having a problem trying to identify where does the string start. Is this one string, and then is this another string? JavaScript doesn't know, because to JavaScript a string starts when you put one quote and then it closes when you put another quote. So if you want to do something like this, what you have to do is use single quotes and then put the double quotes inside the single quotes, and what you'll get is float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And you can see we keep our quotation signs here. So there's two ways to declare strings, and this is how you do them. The third important data type that I want us to look at is something called boolean. Now, what is a boolean? A boolean is something that can evaluate to 1 or 0, true or false. Even if you put something there that is not true or false, JavaScript will interpret it as truthy or falsy. So let's just quickly look at a boolean. So let's say we want to know if somebody can drive or not. We could have a variable like this: let can drive equal true. So this would be true, and then let's just log this out actually, and then we can look at a console.log can drive. And what this is gonna print out, it's just gonna print out true, because can drive is true. See, so booleans can be set to true or they can be set to false. So we can also set them here to false. So a boolean can also be set to 1, which is true, or to 0, which is false. Alright guys, this is it for this tutorial. In the next one, I'll show you how data types interact with each other.